All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for a call with Drew Allar. As always, please raise your hand and I will call on you. We'll start with Rich Carcella.
Morning, Drew. Thanks for your time today. Drew, can you
Yeah.
just can you discuss with us the opportunity that you have this week playing the number two or number three team in the country and at home?
Yeah, I mean, definitely a great opportunity. Obviously, Michigan is a great team on both sides of the ball. Tremendous amount of respect for them. They're a very, very well coached team. And yeah, just looking at it from the past couple of days, breaking down their defense, they're a very sound group. They don't make a lot of mistakes. There's not a lot of bust in the secondary where they're just leaving guys wide open. So it's definitely going to be a challenge, but it's something we look forward to. Just because of it's definitely one of our bigger games on our schedule. But it's at the end of the day, we just got to prepare like we've been doing the past couple of weeks and just go out and practice hard.
Johnny McGonigal.
Drew, I guess following up on that with the performance that you were able to have personally, at Maryland, and then, the passing game as a whole clicking the way it did. I mean, how much does that help in terms of the confidence in what you guys have going into a game like this?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely nice to get that rolling. Yeah, we just want to keep building off that confidence for sure. That's going to be one of our main things in practice this week. Today obviously it's our first practice of the week, so we'll get an install in today, and go out and do what we have to do on the practice field. Iron out any mistakes tomorrow. So it's going to be a huge week for us in the quarterback, tight end, receiving room. Just continuing to build off what we had going last week, and yeah, I'm excited for the opportunity just because it's a really good secondary we're going against, so it's going to be a fun one.
Greg Pickle.
Drew, good morning. Thanks for your time. Drew, when you look at what Michigan does in the secondary, obviously you've said a couple of times now that it's a very, very talented group. So what things stand out to you in regards to that and the way they play and are kind of consistent on the back end?
Yeah, I think just what you said, they're very consistent. Obviously they have a lot of talent just from they're pretty rangy, have pretty long arms, so they can be physical with receivers, but they're also do a really good job of just I guess staying in front of them from their point of view. They don't let many guys get past them, free runners. So yeah, and they're really good tacklers too. That's one thing I've noticed on film. They're not afraid to go in and just a tackle, shed a block. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us this week, just because they're very disciplined. They're going to be where they're supposed to be, and we just have to do everything we can in our power just to take every opportunity that we have out there on Saturday and just maximize it.
Johnny Collins.
Hey, Drew, you mentioned earlier confidence. I'm wondering, is this the most confident the offense has been at any point this season? And especially, from a pass protection standpoint, from a receiver's ability to make big plays standpoint, and how much was that affected by last week?
Yeah, I don't know if it's I honestly don't think it's I don't know if it's the most confidence we've ever been, or confident we've ever been. I think it's just something that, we're very confident going into every game just because of the way we prepare throughout the week. And I think the coaching staff obviously did a great job last week of, preparing us for every look. So, I think it just starts today in practice with our confidence. The coaches are they're going to do a great job with us in meetings today, getting us prepared for what we're going to see on Saturday, showing us the film, showing us, why we're trying to run certain plays against them, and just show us the opportunities on film for those plays. And we just have to trust the training and technique that the coaches have been, implementing since fall camp for us. And if we just go out and execute our jobs, I think we'll be able to, stay on track. It's one of those games where we can't kill ourselves with mistakes because they'll capitalize on our mistakes. And we just have to do a good job of just, eliminating all the unforced errors that, can come back and bite us.
Ringpo Danny.
Hi, Drew. If you look back at, say, a month or so ago to now, how are you a different quarterback your first year as a starter now than you were a month ago? What do you think, if there's things that are easier or better for you now?
Honestly, just think it just comes from a place of experience. Obviously, over the past month, I played in like 4 more games than I had before. So I think it just, definitely more comfortable with everything. Just that's just how I feel. The more reps I get, the more comfortable I'm getting. And I think just the relationship between me, Coach Yursich, and Coach Franklin has done a really good job, and we're continuing that relationship every day, just communicating with each other, what we're seeing on film, what we're seeing out on the field during the game, and just being honest with each other of what we're seeing on the field, and me telling them what I like and I don't like, just because, I mean, there's only so many plays you get in the game, but like 65 plays on offense, and I think at least for me, I gotta love every 65 plays we call. So I think we've done a great job of just being on the same page as from that standpoint, and I think that's why we're starting to pick up a little bit more rhythm on offense.
Audrey Snyder.
Hey, Drew, thanks for your time this morning. Wanted to ask, excuse me, you about the Bo Preval package. We finally saw it last week. What are your thoughts on it, and what's your recollection of when Coach Yursich kind of first put that in, probably back in the spring?
Yeah, I think it's something that's very, very cool and innovative. Obviously, Bo's a tremendous, and he's a very good quarterback, and we've all seen that when he gets his opportunity to go out there and play. And I think it just makes defenses game plan for one more thing, and the more you can make a defense game plan for different packages, whether it be 2 quarterbacks in the game, 2 running backs, 3 or 4 tight ends in a situation. I think it just, helps us overall because we're able to, really, really mix up everything, and we can add new wrinkles in off of those packages that we already have in. So, I think it's just something that we're going to continue practicing throughout the weeks. And if Coach Yursich calls it, then we'll both be ready to go out there and, just execute whatever plays called for us.
John Sauber.
Drew, after watching the film from Saturday's game, can you pinpoint what exactly allowed you to play at such a high level, and what kind of changed for you for that game compared to other games?
Yeah, I think really the past 2 weeks I've been focusing on just being calmer in the pocket, just with footwork and stuff, and I think that really helped me, especially. I know I mentioned this after the game on Saturday, but the rhythm Coach Yursich was able to get the offense in on Saturday really helped me a ton. Just really settling into the game and getting quick, easy completions, and then we were able to start, being a little bit more aggressive with shots downfield and stuff in the intermediate range. But for me personally, it was more of just like staying calm in the pocket. Only taking what I need in the pocket. Don't do any unnecessary movements that can make me drift even into more pressure. And I think I've done a good job of that the past 2 weeks, and I just got to continue to build on that.
Time for 3 more. Ben Jones.
Drew, I noticed that you've been wearing a call sheet on your arm the last 3 games. You hadn't worn it the rest of the season, and you didn't wear it last year. What was sort of the genesis of that, and what have the advantages been?
Yeah, we actually did wear it a couple of times last year. Towards the end of the year, there was like 3 or 4 games where we wore it, but I think it was just really a mix up for us to get on the same page as our offense. And I think it just creates a lot more opportunities just because you're allowed to do a lot of different things out of the huddle, as opposed to obviously we're going to be up tempo offense, but you can see what personnel we're going to be in out of the huddle, but you don't know what formation we're going to line up in, where as opposed to like we're looking over to the sideline and everybody's kind of moving to the formation. Defenses are able to, kind of adjust their calls based on the formation that they see pre-snap. And I think just huddling up sometimes is just a good breakup of tempo for us, and it just creates more advantages for us because the defense isn't necessarily going to be calling a defense when we're breaking the huddle, because we can snap it as soon as we get set. So I think it just creates a little bit more of an advantage for us, and kind of throws off the defense's rhythm as well.
Tyler Donahue.
Good morning, Drew. We appreciate your time today. I wanted to ask about a couple of your receivers. First off, Keandre Lambert-Smith, spent a lot of time in the months leading up to the season telling us that he was going to be capable of being that number one receiver. How has he done that through these 9 games so far? And then Dante Cephas, I had a breakout performance on Saturday. He told us last week that you two are lifting partners in the weight room. Has that helped you guys develop some chemistry? And what does it mean moving forward that he had that game and you have that on film now?
Yeah, obviously it was a huge game for Ceif this past Saturday, and we've been working on that for I don't know how long, ever since he got on campus in this past May. And I think it just came down to him. Like, we all knew he had the ability and had the talent, and everything is there for him. It just came down to being comfortable with the system, and I think these past 2 to 3 weeks, he's really grown into his own, and understands what we're doing as an offense, the philosophy behind everything. And we've been able to move him around a little bit in the slot and being an outside receiver. So that just helps him get more advantages to knowing more positions at the receiver position, and being able to play multiple different slots on our offense. So he's able to run in at our X, Z, and H receiver, and I think that's a huge advantage for everybody because we can move him around. And as far as Dre, he's just been the same guy every day. He's been very consistent with his routine, pre-practice, post-practice, and throughout practice. And I think one thing that he brings to that receiving room in general is like his competitive attitude. He's one of the most competitive guys on our team, and he'll let you know about it, which is cool to have on our offense. But he's just been really good throughout the weeks of practice, and I think that's helped him in games, just seizing every opportunity that goes his way. And he's doing great stuff with the ball after the catch too. There was a couple of plays this past week where it was like a screen at the line of scrimmage, and he makes one guy miss, and he's getting 10 yards, which is huge off of a screen for us. So I think both of them have done a tremendous job this whole offseason and throughout the season. And I think he's really starting to pay off for both of them now.
Final question, Daniel Gallen.
Appreciate your time this morning, Drew. We saw KRON put together a pretty complete game. It looked like against Maryland, especially when he got going in the second half. What have you seen from him over these past couple of weeks, and what do you think he can bring going into what's expected to be, I think, a pretty physical defensive matchup on Saturday?
Yeah, I think Fat Man just brings a mentality of just toughness and like aggressiveness to our offense, no matter if he's carrying the ball or in pass protection. And I think him and Nick have both done a great job of being very well prepared for just different packages on defensive fronts, and being tuned into the protections, which helps me out a ton because I have a ton of confidence in both of them. But as far as Fat Man goes, I think he's the style of running back where he loves running people over, and that just gives him more energy, and he gets going as the more like touches he gets throughout the game. And I think that showed this past Saturday pretty well, just because he was able to really wear down that D line and linebackers, and then really make that secondary feel his presence every time they would try to come up and tackle him. I mean, there was guys bouncing off of him right and left, and it was just a really impressive thing to see him do. And I think he's going to have a big game for us on Saturday, and same with Nick. And I think they've done a great job this year of just being staying present, not getting frustrated with anything. I think they trust Coach Sider a ton in everything he's teaching them, and they both trust the O-line a ton. So it's only a matter of time before they get going, and I think we just got to keep building off both of them.